Hi, I'm Todd Allpeter with Vantage Group, and in this demonstration I'm going to take you through using the Vantage Group website to acknowledge a purchase order for a customer. One of the first things that you'll need to do in order to use the site to acknowledge a purchase order to a customer is to have an account set up on the Vantage Group website. If you haven't done so already, you can click the new User Signup button at the top of the page. Doing so will open up a form that you can fill out that will be reviewed by Vantage Group, and someone will respond back to you within 24 hours with the credentials for you to log into the site. If you've already done that though, you can go to the existing user login button and log into the site using the credentials that have been provided to you. Once you log into the Vantage Group member area, you will see that there are a variety of tools that are available for you to use, but the one we're going to be focusing on today is the button that says Manage Purchase Order Acknowledgements. Once you click the Manage Purchase Order Acknowledgements button, you'll be presented with a page that will list all of the open purchase orders from the last 30 days. Should you want to find a purchase order that is older than 30 days, you can find that by clicking on the Open PO search at the top. To acknowledge a purchase order on the site, quite simply, I go up to the purchase order that I want to acknowledge and I click on the actual purchase order number to open up the document. Once I do that, I'm presented with the details of the purchase order that I have requested to acknowledge. I will create the Ack button up at the top to start creating my acknowledgement for this purchase order. I can also click on the print button here to print a hard copy of the purchase order should I need one for some reason. So let's start creating an Ack. Once I click the Create an Ack button, I'm presented with the actual working page for the acknowledgement. If everything looks good on the acknowledgement and the dates are correct, the prices are correct, I can hit the Complete Ack button, and that will confirm the purchase order back to the customer, telling them that I've agreed to the prices and the delivery dates that they have requested on the purchase order. However, if something should need to change on that purchase order, I can go in and I can edit each of the individual line items, as well as I could set a delivery date of my own. In this example, these items have all been requested to be delivered in the end of June or early July. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set an acknowledgement date of July 10th for all the items. By picking a date and setting delivery date, I have now acknowledged all of the items to be that delivery date. I can go ahead and change one by clicking on the line item number. And I'm going to edit the price on this one. I'm going to make this $8, and I'm going to make the delivery date on this item be the 7th. Once I've adjusted the item the way that I'm interested in, I hit Save. And you can see that my first item on my purchase order now has an acknowledged price of $8 as compared to the original price of $10 that was on the purchase order, and a delivery date of the 7th. Some of the other things that I can do to an item on this page is change the item. I'll click on this item here, and I can see that the customer has requested that I provide them with an Appleton part number LB27. Well, Appleton may not be a brand that I stock, but I can give an equivalent. So I'm going to click the Substitute Item button. I'm going to pick the manufacturer of Kraus-Heinz. Part number LB27. And in my list, I will see a list of products that match that criteria. If this is the one I want, I will click on the UPC code. And I can see that the Substitute Item screen is opened here. I'm going to put a price of $12 on this particular item and hit Substitute. If everything looks good, I can go ahead and hit Save. One word of caution on substituting items. Make sure that the customer that you are acknowledging the purchase order to can accept substitutes via the catalog. Some systems will not accept that, so before using the substitute feature, make sure that it's something that is supported. Another feature that I can do on the acknowledgement screen is to reject an item. I've clicked on this particular Allen Bradley heater element, and let's say Allen Bradley isn't a brand that I carry, and there is no substitute that I can provide for it. I simply click the rejection box and hit Save. The item will be highlighted in yellow now, with the checkbox on the right letting you know that it has been marked as rejected. The last feature I want to show you is again substituting, but this time we're going to substitute an item But this is going to be a manual item, so it's not something that I found in the catalog. So if I search for an item and can't find it, by clicking the I can't find the part link here, it brings me up to a page where I can actually type in what I'm going to acknowledge back to them. In this case, we'll be substituting a 3M. And I'm just going to put in the description of wire connector. I'm going to set a price of 5 cents each and substitute the item. So now I'll be substituting the 3M wire connector at 5 cents each. Hit save again at the top. All of the items are now completed and everything looks good for me. I can go ahead and complete my acknowledgement. One thing I will point out, if you are going to be making lots of changes, it's a good idea to hit the 0 at quantities button, because by default the system will automatically acknowledge the quantity that was ordered. So if you're going to be making a bunch of changes, sometimes it's easy to 0 them out, and that way you can update them one at a time. If for any reason you have a problem or there's an issue with the acknowledgement, it will give you an error at the top of the screen that will show up letting you know what actions need to be taken, or if something hasn't been acknowledged, or if there is some issue. I'm going to go ahead and hit the complete acknowledgement button. When I do that, it takes me back to my open purchase orders. You can see that there are no more open purchase orders anymore because of the fact that we have acknowledged that one. If for some reason we want to look up an acknowledgement, we can click on the PO Ack History button. That will show us the acknowledgments that have been done in the past. I can click on it again to review the acknowledgement, seeing exactly what I have provided. I hope you enjoyed this short demonstration on how to use the Vantage website to acknowledge a purchase order. Thanks and have a great day.